We must admit, we often lie when we don't want to keep promises, hurt someone's feelings, fear looking ridiculous, or even just out of boredom. Everyday lies are usually harmless, but nobody likes being treated like a fool. So how can you tell if someone is lying to you? Cal Lightman from the series Lie to Me is not just a creation of Hollywood screenwriters. Tim Roth's character has a real-life prototype, Paul Ekman, a psychologist and expert in detecting lies. He developed the theory of micro-expressions and micro-gestures, which inspired the series. A small spoiler for those who haven't seen it. When we lie, our real emotions briefly appear on our faces for a fraction of a second before we try to hide them. And the most surprising thing Ekman discovered is that these facial expressions are universal for people of all genders, races, ages, and social groups. With proper training and thorough self-suggestion, a person can become nearly invulnerable even to a perceptive observer. But inexperienced liars will definitely be exposed by their micro-expressions and micro-gestures. Although technically, it's possible to deceive even a polygraph or lie detector. This clever device measures blood pressure, pulse, breathing rate, and can detect goosebumps, facial redness, and the slightest muscle tremors. In this case, self-suggestion alone won't be enough. Better to take some sedatives. By the way, polygraphs, despite their technological sophistication and reliability, can also make mistakes. Anxiety caused by the very act of being tested, or for other reasons, can play a cruel trick on someone. Ekman describes a case involving a young sergeant who discovered the body of his friend's wife and failed 3 polygraph tests because he was in love with her and deeply ashamed of his forbidden sexual desire. The guy was almost convicted of murder. Moreover, since most people believe that lie detectors never make mistakes, there have been cases where suspects confessed to crimes they didn't commit just because they failed the test. But people associated anxiety with lying long before the invention of the polygraph. In ancient India, suspects in crimes were identified like this. They were asked questions and, at the same time, made to strike a gong with their answer. If they hesitated, it meant something was wrong. Unfortunately, such methods aren't very effective. Paul Ekman's experiments prove that without special training, people usually just guess whether someone is lying or not. Sure, you could grab Ekman's or Alderet Vrai's textbook and a video camera, then carefully review footage of a potential liar spinning their tales. But let's be realistic. In everyday life, we rarely have such opportunities. So how do you figure out if the love of your life is genuinely busy with work, or if they're just avoiding you? Of course, you shouldn't blindly trust the words of someone you suspect of lying, but it's crucial to listen to what and how they say things. This is a point on which many researchers of lying agree. Plus, it's easier than catching micro-expressions. There are 3 main linguistic, or verbal, signs to detect deception. The first, a person who is lying will avoid using personal pronouns. They're more likely to say, "Nobody took your money," than "I didn't take your money." Negative pronouns are a liar's best friend. Second, where a truthful person would likely remain calm, a liar will exhibit negativity. A guy late for work might tell his boss, "Stupid traffic, I hate it," instead of simply stating the fact of a traffic jam. This likely happens because the liar subconsciously feels angry at themselves for lying. And third, verbosity, vagueness, and metaphorical language. Basically, every liar is a poet at heart. Studies show that it takes more time and effort to invent a story than to tell the truth. A liar will pile on unnecessary details, create complex linguistic constructions, sprinkle in filler words, and so on. Of course, don't immediately worry if someone refers to themselves in the third person or isn't particularly optimistic, but pay close attention to both what they say and how they say it. Try this simple exercise. Ask a friend or colleague to tell you a short story, then ask them several questions about it. Pay attention to their body language and word choice. Try to notice micro-expressions and changes in their speech. Detecting lies is a powerful tool, but remember its ethical boundaries. Using these methods without consent can breach trust and relationships. Always use these insights responsibly and respectfully.